Wildfire has become a really serious problem. We have been developing plans, parameters, and systems for responding to wildfire. We have dealt with wildfire dangers for many, many years on our system. But these large conflagrations that we've been faced with represent a whole new order of challenge.
That's a very controversial topic. So we have, as a society, moved out into these very rural areas that are very remote, and we've got power lines running through forests, and we expect it to work like an urban system, and it doesn't. We have a system now in place called emergency power shutoffs. If red flags start coming up, temperature's high, winds are coming, they shut down the power system to prevent wildfires being started by lines hitting trees or trees going through the power lines and doing things like that. There's a downside associated with that. If you're on a respirator that runs on electricity and your batteries happen to fail, that's a big problem if they do an emergency power shutoff. And we've got generators going on all over the place that might spark and start a fire. Nothing is as simple as it first seems, like just shut the power off and all this will go away. That's not going to happen.
One of the things that we've been doing for the last several years is identifying areas of higher risk, installing insulated lines in some of these areas, putting some of those lines underground where it makes sense. It's a delicate balance because of the cost involved, but because of the way that fire seasons have extended and fire behavior has changed, it's become an absolute necessity.
It'll cost an enormous amount of money to put everything underground. So that's not really realistic. So we still have to deal with this overhead system that is in areas that are quite vulnerable.
We have devices such as reclosers, switches, fuses that protect the distribution system from damage, from faults if a tree falls, hits a line. Some of these devices can't emit a spark when a fault happens. We're working to replace a lot of those devices with ones that will not produce an ignition source when they're activated.
For individuals and businesses where they might lose all their refrigeration and all their food and things like that, having a system like at the Talent Middle School where they have a solar panels on their roof with a big battery system so they can run the freezer and the refrigerator during one of those crises, they can ride it through. That's the kind of resilience that I think is going to get built into the system more and more and more.